Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so we got a few things to cover now. Most of this has to do with statements that were put out and actions taken by the White House today regarding, foreign relations and so forth. And I've been saying for a long time now, that American foreign policy is now American domestic policy. So this just brings us all into focus. I'm going to present a number of things here. Pretty much every bit of it comes from the White House website. I will encourage anyone that cares to look up this information for themselves. Although for the people that support Biden, I know you're not going to. It's not a question. Don't tell me you're going to. You're not going to read through this stuff. Most of the people, 99.9% of people that support Biden blindly are not even going to listen to this entire video. It's not a question. Even the people that claim to be on my side, and yet, they are for Biden, I know for a fact they do not watch these videos. They will lie directly to me and say they are. And it's not a question. So please, we have to share this information openly, widely. We have to talk about these things. All right, so let's go into this. All right, so first of all, Biden is talking about diplomacy. Diplomacy is a process of, mending disagreements. It's not a matter of cheerleading among the people that you already agree with. If you go down here through the White House website, you're going to find a number of things talking about, Biden having a call with the president of Spain, the president of Turkey. For those of you that, say that we need to be in Syria to help the Kurds, whom most of you never heard of before Trump wanted to withdraw troops from Syria, who are they fighting against? Oh, yeah, mostly the Turks. But who's he calling? Turkey. Every one of the countries that he is calling have no major disagreements with the United States. And I want you to notice that. Go to the White House website, briefing room, and go through every country that he has been on the phone with, aside from Russia. And even with Russia, we're going to get to that and other things. All right, excuse me, on something else. I'm making a number of videos. All right, here's one of the first ones. All right. President Biden to sign executive actions restoring America's place in the world. So I'm going to skip over all the hoo-ha in here. And you can go here and read the whole thing yourself. All right. Today, President Biden is taking additional action to reassert our values on the world stage, to restore clarity and leadership to how America makes its foreign policy, and to support and empower the national security professionals who execute our policies building a modern national security force that looks like the nation it serves. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound like diplomacy? Or is that trying to shove us down every other nation's throats? What does that sound like? If you think that sounds like diplomacy, then there is something seriously messed up in your head. Let's keep going down here. To reclaim our place in the world, the Biden-Harris administration will undertake a bold and sustained effort to revitalize and modernize the national security workforce, ensuring that it reflects the full diversity of the United States and renewing and modernizing our national security institutions and partnerships. Nowhere in here does it talk about treating any other country as an equal in any way. All right. President Biden will sign a national security memorandum to modernize how the national security community recruits, retains, and empowers its workforce to lead on a new and emerging national security challenges. Excuse me. This memorandum will also ensure that our national security workforce reflects the unparalleled talent and diversity of our nation. It will establish an interagency working group to develop proposals to recruit, retain, and support national security professions, including creating additional pathways for Americans with skills in critical areas such as cyber, technology, and science, technology, engineering, and math, to engage in public service. It also organizes the national security community to better work with outside partners, including state and local governments, colleges, universities, and civil society. President Biden will sign a national security memorandum to outline the structure of the National Security Council and the manner in which the Biden administration will pursue our most important objective: the safety, security, and prosperity of the American people. Today's interlocking challenges require a new and broader understanding of national security, one that recognizes that traditional national security, economic security, health security, and environmental security are all linked. The Biden National Security Council structure will reflect the cross-cutting nature of our most critical national challenges by more regularly integrating cabinet officials from domestically focused agencies into national security decision making. Foreign policy is now domestic policy. Let's keep going here. All right. So this is remarks by President Biden on America's place in the world. Blah, blah. This is about Tony Blinken, the Secretary of State. This one's just a little aside here. And by the way, I want you all to know, in the press, I was the Benjamin Franklin Professor of Presidential Politics at Penn. And I thought they did that because I was as old as he was, but I guess not. Well, let's go to the Newsweek. The Daily Pennsylvania, the University of Pennsylvania student newspaper, however, referred to his role as an honorary professor position, while it also reported he had never taught a formal class at the university. He has spoken at events on campus on at least 5 occasions, though, from 2017 to 2019. What they don't mention is whether those were paid speeches. So, Let me get back to the right one here. Okay, so honorary position where he's never taught a class as a professor. Yes, he has taught at other places, but not in the position that he references here. All right, I'm jumping through this. You again can read the whole thing if you wish. It's on the White House website. American leadership must meet this new moment of advancing authoritarianism, including the growing ambitions of China to rival the United States and the determination of Russia to damage and disrupt our democracy. He is continuing Russiagate, and how is China challenging us? Economically. So he is trying to use the military and security apparatus to fight against what? Any other country. First of all the lies that we endured with Russiagate, and anyone that can economically challenge us, that can outcapitalize this country. All right, so blah, blah, blah. Unite the world in fighting to defend democracy because we have fought for it ourselves. Democracy? Yeah, let's go back to the primaries on that. Okay, let's not. There can be no doubt in a democracy, force should never seek to overrule the will of the people or attempt to erase the outcome of a credible election. Do you care to tell that to Venezuela? How about Chile? How about Honduras? Right, okay. Let's tell that to our own CIA, all right? Let's keep going. All right. America's alliances are our greatest asset. And leading with diplomacy means standing shoulder to shoulder with our allies and key partners once again. Really? How about we just make everyone our ally? All right? How about that? By leading with diplomacy, we must also mean engaging our adversaries and our competitors diplomatically where it's in our interest to advance the security of the American people. How about we try to ensure the security of everyone? If we mean diplomacy, diplomacy means peace. At the same time, I made it clear to President Putin in a manner very different from my predecessor that the days of the United States rolling over in the face of Russia's aggressive actions, interfering with our elections, which was absolutely disproven. Cyber attacks, again, disproven. Poisoning its citizens. They managed to poison people with the most deadly toxin, man-made toxin on Earth. 3 people that didn't die from it. All right? We will not hesitate to raise the cost on Russia and defend our vital interests and our people. And we will be more effective in dealing with Russia when we work in a coalition and coordination with other like-minded partners. Really? Tell that to the European Union and stop sanctioning the other countries for buying Russian gas. The politically motivated jailing of Alexei Navalny and the Russian efforts to suppress freedom of expression and peaceful assembly are a matter of deep concern to us and the international community. Mr. Navalny, like all Russian citizens, is entitled to his rights under the Russian Constitution. He's been targeted for exposing corruption. He should be released immediately and without condition. You want to tell that to Julian Assange? Do you want to tell that to Julian Assange? How about Edward Snowden? Huh? How about Chelsea Manning? How about John Kiriakou? You want to tell any of this to them? Let's keep going. We'll confront China's economic abuses, counter its aggressive, coercive action to push back on China's attack on human rights, intellectual property, and global governance. While global governance, human rights abuses. Which country has the largest prison system in the world with 2.3 million people incarcerated? Yeah, how about that for human rights abuses? Do you think the death penalty is not a human rights abuse? Do you think that we can just keep going on that? But no need to. And global governance, while he's talking about restoring our place in the world. Our place in the world? We account for 5% of the world's population. 5%. How about that for our place in the world? So let's still keep going through this. All right? But we are ready to work with Beijing when it's in America's interest to do so. In other words, if Beijing will bow down to us, which they are not going to do. Reclaiming our credibility and moral authority? What moral authority? That's why we move quickly to begin restoring American engagement internationally and earn back our leadership position to catalyze global action on shared challenges. Skip down here. To begin, Defense Secretary Austin will be leading. Austin, yeah, what position is he in again? Will be leading a global posture review of our forces so that our military footprint is appropriately aligned with our foreign policy and national security priorities. It will be coordinated across all elements of our national security, with Secretary Austin and Secretary Blinken working in close cooperation. Down further, and to underscore our commitment, we are ending all American support for offensive operations in the war in Yemen, including relevant arms sales. Relevant arms sales. Notice those words. Who determines what's relevant? It's not the Yemeni people, is it? At the same time, Saudi Arabia faces missile attacks, UAV strikes, and other threats from Iranian-supplied forces, aggression toward Iran, and multiple countries. We're going to continue to support and help Saudi Arabia defend its sovereignty and its territorial integrity and its people. How about the human rights abuses in Saudi Arabia? How many people, including political dissidents, are beheaded every year there? How about Alexei Navalny? What's his name? Khashoggi. Are we addressing that? human rights abuses in Yemen. But we're going to increase. Oh, we won't sell them arms, but we'll bring them to them and operate the arms for them. So with your help, the United States will again lead, not just by example of our power, but by the power of our example. There's no longer a bright line between foreign policy and domestic policy. Every action we take in our conduct abroad, we must take with American working families in mind. Advancing a foreign policy for the middle class demands urgent focus on our domestic economic renewal. That means that we are going to use military force against other countries for our economic benefit. That's what that means. If we invest in ourselves and our people, if we fight to ensure that American businesses are positioned to compete and win on the global stage, if the rules of international trade aren't stacked against us, in other words, if we can't compete, if our workers and intellectual property are protected, then there's no country on earth, not China or any other country on earth, that can match us. When we strengthen health systems in the far region of the world, we reduce the risk of future pandemics that can threaten our people and our economy. Really? Really? How about we address the health needs of our own people first? How about that? Thank you. And may God bless you and protect our troops. No, this is a Freudian slip. Or it is very intentional. I'm not sure which. But look at the priorities in this statement. May God bless you and protect our troops, our military force, first and foremost. Our diplomats and our development experts and all Americans serving in harm's way. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. Don't ignore this. Don't ignore this. All right. I'll see you in the next one.